Something unusual happened at the Tusk Conservation Awards this year. Something subtle, something easy to miss, yet something that speaks volumes about the future of the monarchy. Prince William didn't just deliver another environmental speech. He didn't just show up as the patron of a charity he deeply supports. Instead, something shifted around him. Something in the tone of his words, in the urgency of his message, in the atmosphere created by the people standing around him. And at the center of that shift stood two unexpected figures, Zara Tindall and Mike Tindall, whose presence wasn't random, wasn't accidental, and wasn't simply a family visit. Their appearance beside William reveals a much deeper story, a story of loyalty, stability, realignment, and the quiet formation of a new power circle inside the royal family. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. When William stepped onto the stage to deliver his speech, he did so with a confidence and global presence that felt unmistakably king-like. His tone was steady, serious, and clear, but beneath that calm exterior lay an unmistakable sense of urgency. He spoke not like a ceremonial royal performing a duty, but like a leader issuing a warning about the state of the planet, the collapse of biodiversity, and the risk humanity faces if nothing changes. The speech was highly polished, but more importantly, it was deeply purposeful. And that purpose is what signals William's rise. For years, people have spoken about William as the future king. But something changed recently. It is no longer about being destined for the role. It is about actively stepping into it. The speech William delivered at the Tusk Awards showed exactly that, a future monarch demonstrating global leadership, not through pomp or symbolism, but through clarity, conviction, diplomacy, and the ability to unite nations behind a shared cause. William referenced Brazil, the Amazon, the Congo Basin, indigenous communities, global biodiversity, frontline rangers, and the international climate movement. These are not the words of a passive royal figure. These are the words of a statesman. His presence expressed something powerful. A man stepping firmly onto the world stage, not because the crown demands it, but because the moment requires it. But the speech itself, as important as it is only part of the bigger picture. The true story, the one that reveals what is shifting inside the royal family, lies in the people who stood literally and symbolically beside William, Zara Tindall and Mike Tindall. Two royals without titles, two family members who are never part of the core working circle, two figures who normally appear far from political, diplomatic, or global moments. Yet they were there, front and center, supporting William during one of his most significant public addresses of the year. To understand why their presence matters, we must understand what Zara and Mike represent, not just to the public, but to William personally, and to the monarchy as an institution. Zara Tindall is Princess Anne's daughter. She is a granddaughter of the late Queen Elizabeth II, just like William. They grew up with William. They share a bond formed long before royal responsibilities divided their paths. Zara is one of the few people who has always been able to speak to William honestly, without protocol, without hierarchy, without fear of judgment. She is, according to people close to the family, one of his safest emotional spaces. Mike Tindall, on the other hand, is a symbol of something William desperately needs: stability, groundedness, and authenticity. Mike is not a royal. He's a former professional athlete, straightforward, unpretentious, loyal, and protective of the family he married into. He has no interest in drama, in publicity games, or in royal politics. And within a royal family that has been shaken by scandals, internal friction, and global scrutiny, Mike represents something incredibly rare: normality. So why were they both there, standing with William? Their presence may appear casual on the surface, but make no mistake, It carries emotional and strategic meaning. If we analyze the moment through the lens of royal dynamics, three major interpretations emerge. First, Zara and Mike's presence signals the consolidation of William's inner circle. With the royal landscape shifting, Charles facing health challenges, Kate managing her private struggles, and Harry no longer part of the royal structure, William's support network has transformed. Zara and Mike have become part of what many observers call William's pillars, providing emotional grounding and familial loyalty in a time when the monarchy needs stability more than ever. Second, their presence reinforces the public image that William is not isolated. Being heir to the throne often comes with loneliness. The pressure, the expectations, and the scrutiny can create distance even within a close family. But the optics of Zara and Mike at William's side communicate something different. William is surrounded by people who truly know him, not advisors, not strategists, but family who have been with him since childhood. Third, and perhaps most importantly, their appearance connects William to the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. They represent the branch of the family that is rooted in service, humility, and quiet, unwavering loyalty. By standing beside them during a major event, William symbolically aligns himself with the values that defined the late Queen's reign. It is a subtle reminder of continuity at a time when the monarchy is in transition. Now, let's return to the speech itself, because it is essential to understand how deeply it reflects William's metamorphosis into a global figure. William did not simply discuss conservation. He laid out a narrative that spans continents, cultures, ecosystems, and generations. He spoke about African conservationists who risk their lives, about rangers who make the ultimate sacrifice, about indigenous communities who provide real solutions, about the fragility of rainforests, and about humanity's responsibility to future generations. He referenced Brazil, which is a striking detail for anyone who understands the global political landscape. Brazil is not a neutral or ceremonial destination. It is a frontline battleground for environmental and climate politics. By speaking about that visit, and by emphasizing urgency, William was sending a message that his role extends beyond Britain's borders. He is not just the Prince of Wales. He is becoming an international environmental diplomat. It is important to recognize how this positions him against the backdrop of other royals. Prince Harry has long been associated with African conservation, charity work, and global activism. While the speech never mentioned Harry, and William himself has never publicly framed his conservation work as a rivalry, media interpretations often lean in that direction. Any suggestion of competition must be considered speculative, but it is true that William's leadership in this space now overshadows Harry's former prominence. This is not because William is trying to compete, but because the platform given to him as heir naturally amplifies his voice. For global audiences, William is beginning to embody the role of an active, purposeful, and credible world leader.